everyone. Welcome to another episode of Frankie's Open Mic. I'm your host, Haleigh Overseth, with my co-host, Alecia Maximo here from
Hel-
Venora.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for welcoming me back on Frankie's Open Mic.
And today we've got with us Peter Karel of PetsForFilms.com, PetsBook.ca. You have a me and Alecia both, we love our four-legged friends, and we're so excited to talk to
Sure
you about
do.
your project. Hello, Peter, how are you?
Fantastic. Well, I'm very excited to talk to you guys. I mean, um, I I do need help. I need help to promote my platform. I started it now. It's been a while, and uh, I do have hundreds of people, but in this business, you need more than that. And I need members, but I also need service providers, people who are part of the whole community, the groomers and the vets
Mhm.
and all that stuff. So,
Well, so tell us a little bit about your pets book. Tell everyone who doesn't know, what is this social media platform for pet lovers?
well, basically, as it's a social media platform, it has place for people create their profile. They put photos. They put photos of their friends or videos or just any information you have for the pet. Then you can also part of this profile is that you can advertise. You can put free classifieds advertising if you're looking for somebody to help you out with your pet. If you're looking for uh, pet walker, if you so classified version, then there is a blog version. And then there's if you are casting agent, and many people actually I have in system, they are casting agents, so they can put a casting there as well, where they're looking for people with pets. So it's a basically social platform. Um,
How did you decide to start this? So you had talked to us just a little bit before that you started in sort of film talent, model acting,
yes,
Mhm.
representation.
exactly. My background is really more in the talent and modeling industry, as a photographer first, and then as an agent. And then being involved with people and with casting agents and production companies, I soon discovered that they're also looking for pets and looking for people with pets,
Mhm.
because the pet parents are usually the best people to handle the pets. So that's why I created the Pets for Films. Now, Pet's book, on the other hand, is uh, is really designed to attract people who are just pet lovers. Not everybody wants to get involved in show business, but they would like to. They would like to get good. They would like to maybe meet other pet lover, or maybe they would like to place some advertising, some classifieds. Maybe they like to learn few things. So that's that's basically what the pets book is for. It's going to help me to extend the marketing for the whole platform. you know
Nice. That's such a great accomplishment, and I think that a lot of people get really good value from there. There's a lot of Instagram and TikTok platforms now where there's dogs and cats, and they have thousands of followers, and it's very interactive. So people are really looking for a platform like yours where they can meet different pet owners and meet different types of pets. So definitely keep that going, Peter. That's very interesting.
yeah, I think that yes, there are platforms like Facebook or
Mhm.
TikTok, but it just stops there. It
Right.
shows and then whatever, it's fun, and they maybe get followers, but that's it, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
um, what I would like to do is I would like to extend that. I would like to extend that so they have benefits. Now, the reason why, really, the deep inside reason why I created this, because of my pet Juicy. She
Mhm.
died about a year ago.
Oh,
Yeah,
RIP to Juicy.
yes, and
Yeah. What
have
kind of what
have
kind
you
of pet was Juicy?
Schnauzer. I love schnauzer.
Aw, so
No,
cute.
I love it.
Then I realized how important it is, you know. I also realized the whole industry, the vets and all that stuff. And I met people in this business who are maybe older, people who the pet is the only thing they have as a friend, you know.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And pet is the only thing that touches them, actually. you know, the
Mhm.
It's true. Sometimes that's the only companion you have when you've got that little four-legged friend who's hanging out with you.
exact
Right.
that four-legged friend gets sick sometimes, you know, and then
Mhm.
people have nothing. They have no money. They cannot save. They actually they allow this pet to die because they have no money to help the pet, right? So
Mhm. It happens.
another thing, and that's very sad, really. That's another reason what I want to do is I want to create a kind of fun, kind of situation where we would collect money and help people like that, you know, because
Yeah.
Oh, I love
you know you have to give before you take, right? I mean, that's the only
Right.
way. That's the way it really works. So
That's
that
the motto.
that's another thing what I like to do. Uh, the the registration, there's no registration. You can create profile just like Facebook. You can create your profile. It's a free of charge. We don't even charge for classifieds. Only some classifieds are paid, and that's only very little. And then they can, so basically trying to create, how should I say, um, community,
that.
Co-
Hmm.
Mhm.
community that would help itself. You know,
Mhm.
Well, I do really appreciate that. I mean, Alicia and I are all about community building, so we
Right.
appreciate when you're trying to get people who are like-minded together to support
Mhm.
each other. I
yes,
think Pet Lovers is a great community. I'm a pet owner. I've had dogs for a long time, and I definitely understand, you want to find vets that are trustworthy, that are going to treat your animal really well and aren't just,
Mhm.
in it for the money. You want to find groomers, same thing, who are going to treat your pets well. And it's nice to be able to sort of vet things like that. You can look at reviews and things on Google or whatever when you have a business come up, but in a community space like this, you'd be able to, have conversations with other people a little bit more easily. Hey, how's this pet groomer that you've used, or this pet sitter that because it's hard to find a pet sitter too for your dog when it's hard to trust. It's like trusting somebody with your kid, right? You want to make sure
Right.
that you're not going to be making mistakes with
Yeah.
them.
Right,
I
I was gonna say, you can't just send, like, your pet to anyone or to anywhere, like, you can't
Mhm.
send your child to any type of daycare, right? It's very, very similar, and with pets, they do come part of your family, they do can become part of your life and your routine, and it's so
that
important to build that community and find people that you have that in common or people that you can trust, and again, yeah, Haley and I are very big on community, especially when it comes to businesses, podcasts, or whatever. And it's building that community so strong, especially in the pet world. It's needed. We need our animals. We need to save them. We need to protect them. They're like family.
yeah, they are family.
Yeah.
They're not
Mhm,
like family. They are family. You know what?
mhm,
And we also, I wouldn't mind to talk to the government because it's really,
mhm,
you know, they are therapeutic tools. They're therapeutic animals. Basically, they help you to heal. Okay,
mhm,
Hmm.
I think that the government should certainly help some people to with with the healthcare for their pets. I mean, they spend so much money on all kinds of other stuff, which is completely useless. But something like that um, improves the quality of life. You know,
mhm.
I think that's what it is, the quality of life.
Yeah.
I agree. I would love to see that, like a legislation or something to support that kind of, supporting people with pets and supporting like a healthcare. I mean, that's a tough ask sometimes when you have a hard time getting a healthcare system for humans in order. And, Alicia and I are certainly very interested in the wellness space and the mental health wellness space.
Right.
And it's true. Your pets are, there is a therapy to having a pet. You know, having a pet to take care of gives you sort of purpose sometimes, especially if you're struggling with your mental health and, you know, you need a reason to keep going. For some people, that pet is the reason you have to keep going.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly. You know,
Right.
that's what it is. Um, you know what? Uh, you don't you take the pet for granted until you lose it. I mean, you know, uh, you probably understand. So you come
Mhm.
home and she comes in and kisses you and everything, right? And becomes.
Hmm.
I mean, that's one reason you enjoy coming home because you get it's tremendous.
Mhm.
And then one day the welcome is not there anymore. You
Hmm.
know, you come home and the house is empty.
Right.
And that's when you actually see you can actually physically see how important that that unconditional love is, you know.
Right. Yeah.
You don't get that from people.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
That's
It's
so
very
true.
true.
It
Go
is.
ahead,
Pets
Haley.
are, I was just going to say, pets do unconditionally love you. They're happy when you come home, no matter what. You know, you could have had the worst day and maybe even, you know, been in the worst mood, and your pets still love you and they don't hold it against you. And they don't, you know, they don't tally up the things that you've done wrong in the past, kind of thing, right? The way that humans do. They're very forgiving.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say humans are very unpredictable these days, even if you have kids that turn into teenagers, that turn into adults. So it's always nice to have that one pet that you can depend on that will love you unconditionally, right, Haley?
Oh, yeah.
Like Lucy, I haven't met
Lucy's,
Lucy yet. Lucy's Haley's dog. I can tell her and I are going to bond very well. When Haley's
oh,
eating
yeah.
people food, you can hear Lucy growling and barking in the background like she's a human. Like she really thinks like the food is for her, and it's
Oh,
hilarious.
yeah. Oh, the food is for her. She gets like I always share. I'm like, when do I never not share with you? I always share
Right?
with you. But she
Yes,
is
yes.
very adamant that like I'm a people too. I spend time with you all the time. Like I get the people
Yeah,
treats.
yeah.
You gotta love your pets for like they really do have their own personalities, all of them, and
Yeah.
that's got to be something fun for you too with the site, kind of watching the different pet personalities you get to see.
well,
Mhm,
it's true. What's actually very important is that when I interact with different people with the different pets, right?
mhm.
Um, and I mean, frankly, when I go out, you know, if I go out, I would either go. I cannot just go by myself, walking along by myself into the park. I mean, that looks creepy. So I would either bike or I would run or jog, anything like that, right?
Mhm.
If I really want to go out, I I have to take JJ with me because otherwise it would look creepy, right?
Right.
So, I mean, imagine you going up to the park by yourself, you know, just strolling by yourself. That doesn't really now. And the only people I know in the community are people with other pets, right?
Mhm.
Well, it's another way to meet people, right? You're walking along and your pets kind of introduce you to other people by introducing you to the other
Right.
dog that they're walking. So you make friends because
Exactly.
your pets make friends.
And so,
Right, right.
I don't know idea people without pets. I know in my neighborhood only people with pets. I mean, you know, I I know their name because of the name of the dog rather than their own name. But anyway, so
Oh yeah,
That
I I've had
that's one easy way to remember someone's name by their dog, right?
like, hey, you're Lucy's dog, mom. I would answer to that. I would answer to Lucy's dog, mom. I would accept that. That's a
yes,
title that I'm happy to have.
yes, and she's a baby, right? That's why you're mother and you have a baby.
Hmm.
Right.
Uh,
She
yeah.
is. She's my little baby.
Now,
I was gonna ask, so, you know, I'm someone who grew up with strange pets, actually. So when I was a kid, like my dad had iguanas for a long time. I used to catch salamanders and turtles and have them in tanks. So are you also doing the weird pet sort of the
and
weird pet?
Well, you know what? I don't. When you create your profile, you certainly have options. You can select all kinds of pets, and we do have all kinds of pets there. But most of the pets we have and dogs, right? We have horses, we have spiders, we have pigeons.
No, thank you.
You know,
I
we
don't need any spiders. I mean, good for the people who are brave enough to have the pet tarantulas. I know it's a thing, but if that thing ever got out, oh my God, I would lose my mind.
yeah, but you know what?
Haleigh is so funny.
Yeah, the pets for films. You may not need it, but the production company may need it, right?
Right.
Well,
Yes. Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah. That was gonna be my next follow-up question. Like, what's your experience has been with like exotic pets or dogs on a commercial set or on like a film set? How like what exactly does that look like, and how do you make that connection with someone that has like a trained parrot or let's say a trained tarantula? I would love to see how that works, and then putting them into a set with
You can,
humans and having that having that
Guess
interaction.
what? You can be on the set with the tarantula. I will be on the set with the dogs and the parrots. Thank you very much.
Well, you know what? Part of the profile is, of course, that the pets have certain qualifications, right? So they put down there where they worked and if they took any training program and all that stuff. So that's part of the profile of the pet. So then the casting agent or the production company has all this information available. Okay. Um, of course, usually when you hire pet, you hire pets. You don't hire just the one. Just like with kids,
Mhm,
you don't hire just the one child. You hire few children, right?
mhm,
And so you have alternatives, and then you select the best one. It's the
Hmm.
same thing like with dogs, because sometimes the dogs or cats, right, they just simply are not cooperative.
mhm.
So
Nice.
that's basically it. Again, the whole set has to kind of be changed, right, to some extent.
Mhm,
You have to minimize the kind of interactions, but um, but there are people who are, I would say, experienced at handling pets. You know,
yes. Yes, there's like the
Oh, that's
professionals. Go ahead, Haley.
Well, I was just thinking to myself, I'm thinking like the Irwins, Steve Irwin's kids who like I've seen on, Jimmy Kimmel and things like that, and they've got the really
Mhm,
out there animals and that kind of a thing. So and I'm kind of curious too, like Alicia's saying, when you're on set for say a commercial for like maybe dog food or something like that, and you've got these pet parents, is there like, their pets might have training. I love the idea of putting together a resume for my dog too, by the way. That sounds like a lot of fun. But
right?
are there, I mean, do you essentially like are the pet parents essentially become the handlers and they have to sort of work with like the director to get them to do whatever is the thing, or they have other pet trainers on set?
exactly. So most of the cases, the parents are the pet handlers, because the pet is the most comfortable with the with with the pet parent, right? Uh,
Mhm,
now the some of the companies, but pet product companies, they send their own representatives, right? Just to make
Mhm.
sure that the food or the whole image or the whole thing is presented in such a way that complies with their mission, right? So uh, they would maybe change the quality or the appearance of the food, right? Of the they would they come up with a different ball. They put something else into it in order to
Mhm.
attract the pet more than
right.
attracted. So they know how to set things up in order to create this action, right? This
Mhm,
response that they're looking for. So
I was gonna say, like it's a kind of beta test in real time. If the dog or the cat doesn't want to eat the food, maybe it's not the best food, right? Like if you can't
Yeah.
get any of the actors to eat it, you're
Oh,
maybe not going to sell it.
oh,
Right, right.
they, they can put something into it. Don't forget, it's not just a one take, right? Sometimes it takes like
Hmm.
a commercial.
Right. Yeah.
So, you know, they,
Yeah, I was going to say sometimes the pets are like a dog or a cat will probably not be in the mood to be on set that day. Yes, they'll eat the treats, but getting to them
Hmm.
to act, it's like the interaction between if they're in the mood that day, then they have to hold and film the next day, right?
exactly. Or they just
Mhm,
what they do is they shoot number of dogs, right? Number of pets actually, and
mhm,
then the one which is proves to be the best is ends up in the commercials.
mhm.
So that's why they always looking for more than just a one pet, right?
Right, right, yeah. Oh, very
So
interesting.
what are some of your favorite like pet stories then? Have you like if you've been on set for some come on, you've got to have some fun ones, right? Like I know you do.
Let me think. Let me think. Well, once I was on the set myself, and just basically I went to see what's going on, right? Um, and the, the dog basically it was coming to me all the time, coming to me for some strange reason. Was coming wanting to lick me all the time, and I had to leave the set because otherwise nothing could be done. But then the dog wanted just started to bark because he wanted me to come back.
Mhm.
So
Well, you should feel good about that. I mean, dogs and cats, they're excellent judges of character, so it says a lot about you that that dog really wanted to hang out with you.
Right?
yes, yeah, you're absolutely right. I think
Mhm.
that's something that's why I like pets because they can sense somebody, they can sense personality. I
Hmm.
Yes.
cannot understand people who are mean to them or who are beating them up or violating them. I mean, that's obviously these people are not good.
Right.
You know, so
Mhm.
They're excellent at reading energy, pets are, and that's something that's always kind of maybe we can go a little bit of a left turn here because I think it's fun. But like that, they talk about like dogs or cats being able to see spirits or seeing and hearing things that we can't, kind of
Mhm.
thing.
well,
That's one of,
I think a perfect thing would be like, for example, the perfect way to test your boyfriend or somebody who wants to be your boyfriend. And if your dog is feels good about you know the potential partner, I think that's the one good
It's
stepping
a it's a
point,
good sign.
right?
Yeah.
hmm.
And if it's
So
not,
that's
something is wrong.
Right, right, yes. Yeah, Haley, like speaking of that, like I feel like dogs can feel spirits, but also see spirits. Like when your dog is just like randomly looking in the corner, looking at the wall, I'm always looking like, I wonder what they're looking at. Can they see a figure? Can they see an angel? Can
hmm.
they see a spirit? And sometimes it's either, when you have like water pipes like in your house, sometimes I guess it's like the noise from the water pipe, so they maybe stare at the wall for that reason. But I truly think they probably, especially cats, because cats are very spiritual animals, I feel like they do feed off the different types of energy and they also do see spirits. And they do attract to their owners or their owners types of like their families or their offspring as well.
Yes, yes. Oh, yeah, I know.
Mhm,
Um, I, I think frankly that we all are like that. The
mhm,
unfortunate thing that our ability
Hmm.
to feel was is depressed ever since we were kids. Parents were telling us don't do this, don't do that, and basically suppressing our abilities.
mhm,
With dogs or with cats, there was no such a suppression. So their senses are much more developed than our senses because of
mhm.
that, I think. Uh,
Right.
I mean, so now you're getting into some conversation that really gets me and Alecia excited too. Like this is like the emotional intelligence that we all as beings do have, but as humans we do have it. It's trained out of us essentially, right? We're trained to worry what other people think and worry about other people's emotions and not express ourselves because other people might be uncomfortable with us expressing ourselves, and pets don't have that. And even if you tried to teach them that, you can train them to do tricks and train them to do things, but they are very intuitive, feeling, sensing beings. And I think sometimes that can be, like you say, like we have the ability to also see and sense spirits and other energies and things. Humans have those extrasensory capacities too, but we don't pay attention to them the way that animals are very present with them. And so sometimes I think being with your pets can kind of help you get back in touch with that feeling intuition.
Yeah, to bounce off what Haley was saying, it definitely creates more of a community type of partnership, especially when you're looking at different breeds of animals, especially wild animals, but also back to like dogs and cats, where as humans in our society right now, most of us, I would say a majority of us, we're based off the survival mode where we of course we want to be part of the community or find a community that supports us in our lifestyle and furthermore that lifestyle, but we are in a time now we are forgetting about that, or that's not so accessible to us because we are put in the survival mode. Either we have to focus on us supporting our family, supporting our siblings and so on, where the community in the human world right now is needed. And I feel like if we just try to shift our focus of like, okay, yes, we can definitely have our pets and build that community or build that relationship with our pets, but also it's important to keep that human interaction and look for those human entities to build that community as well, because as animals they have a very strong instinct. They're very smart, especially I would say take cheetahs or lions or like the wild animals in Africa. They
Oh,
have their own way of integrating and building their community with like their own cubs and the whole cycle of life. But as humans right now, we need to figure out how to get out of that survival mode and start communicating like animals are communicating.
well, you know what? Not only animals, but actually communicates. Plants communicate. Everything
Right.
Hmm.
communicates,
Yeah.
right? So
Hmm.
there's this energy. There's this energy which connects everybody, right? I mean,
Hmm.
um, look, the COVID, that COVID situation, that was a typical example
Hmm.
of when you need it, pet.
Hmm.
I mean, it came to the point that you shouldn't be able to, you couldn't go out unless you can walk out with the pet.
Right.
Hmm.
Remember the times, the cost of the pets went up, they skyrocketed. I mean, by schnauzer, for example, just giving an idea, the schnauzer cost like $2,500 to $3,000. Now after the COVID, it's like $1,000. Okay,
Hmm.
the prices went up tremendously because people needed something,
Yeah.
needed somebody to be with or something to deal with the anxiety which was produced by government, by that whole nonsense.
Hmm.
So
I
that
mean, and isn't that such a lovely thing to think that in a lot of ways, because that is true. During COVID and lockdown, a lot of people got pets or more pets, and it's kind of like who
Yeah.
came to the rescue of humans during the time when we really needed companionship, when we were isolated and really struggling. Animals came to the rescue. So you
Hmm.
think you're rescuing, right? It's the who rescued who thing of a rescue
Yeah.
dog, right?
Exactly. Yeah. They weren't able to have human interaction, so the next best thing was to have that type of relationship with that pet.
yes, yes.
Hmm.
Well,
Hmm.
when you really are tense, when you're looking for answer, um, when nobody's there to help you, really, to talk to you because they cannot touch you, they cannot come in. I mean, the people were some people, they were isolated, and
Hmm.
so the only thing they had was a pet. So
And
so
that's It is. It's so important to have that companionship, and animals are just such a gift to humanity that they're just so willing to be there for us and be so present even when we're having a difficult time, right? Like
Right.
again, that unconditional love. They're with us no matter what.
Right. So this is why, I think that uh, we need to talk to businesses about the importance
Mhm.
of pet ownership. We have to talk to the government, helping us to help us actually with the pet ownership and pet health and all that stuff, because this is part of our um, well-being, and
Hmm.
that reduces the health costs actually. you know
Right.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, so that's kind of maybe a question. What would be, so in your dream world, right? The dream that you have for Pets for Films and for Pets Book and the kind of support that we would get from a government, like what would be the ideal situation, do you think? What would, if
well,
we didn't have to fight the government to get it done, what would be the best case thing for us to be able to do to support pets and people with pets?
I think that numbers are important. I mean, the government listens to numbers. If one wants something, just one or two people want something, nothing happens. But if thousands of people, voters, are demanding something,
Hmm.
they do make changes, not because they like us, but because they have to in order to stay in power.
Right. Yeah.
So this is why I created this platform. And the only way to get people is social platform, right? Because you provide them with connections, you provide them with certain features and all that stuff. So that's what I have there. But now I need more and more people, so they can interact with each other.
Mhm.
They can place the free classifieds. They can get involved with blogs and all that stuff, where they can learn something, or they can share their feelings or their information with other people. So I need group. I need numbers. Just like when Facebook started, right? Facebook
Yeah.
started, it was nothing, but then people started participating and created more and more and more, and then you know what, they didn't do much with that Facebook. I mean, no, seriously.
Right.
They,
Hmm.
finally now, but they made it political tool
Mhm.
rather uh, helping people. So I think that what I like to do, I just like to concentrate on help rather than make some political statements. So.
Oh, absolutely. And I love the idea of creating a community that's, because like we talked about, having that pet companionship is sometimes like the most that you have available to you. But if you join a community of like-minded people who also love pets, like you're probably going to meet more people who are more empathetic to your situation because they've been there or they are there. So you're also more likely to meet more people that you resonate with energetically and that you align with better, right? Because like, hey, I'm a pet lover and I'm somebody who really wants to support animals and love my pets and take good care of them. So yeah, I want to join this community. And then you meet more people who are like you. And
Well,
again, it's that,
you know
go
what?
ahead.
When you have a pet, that basically means that you are a responsible person. Okay, you are responsible for somebody, for their um, providing the food and all kinds of things. You have to be responsible. You cannot be a responsible person to have a pet. Okay.
Hmm.
So immediately, the type of people you get are people who are much more responsible than people who have no pets. Especially for somebody like you guys, you're young
Mhm.
girls, you're looking for partners, obviously. So you don't want somebody who is completely irresponsible, right?
Right.
You want somebody who's responsible. So the pet parent is your ideal thing. If
Right.
if he's nice to the baby, you know it's gonna be nice to baby later on, right?
Right.
Right. There you go.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Alicia, we can bring Lucy around. Lucy can be the one to like vet any of the
Yes.
guys
I
around.
think that's a
If
great
Lucy doesn't
idea.
like
I feel like
them,
I feel like Lucy would be a great judge of character.
Yeah.
yeah, she totally would be like, Sorry, you have to go. Lucy doesn't approve of you, so did
Keep it
no
simple.
dice.
Keep it simple, right? Keep it simple. There's a Lucy. There you go. Okay, well, bye.
Not that one.
Yes, I
Not
think that's
that
a
one.
great I think that's a great plan, and I feel like even to back this up, where you're speaking about building that community, or when it comes to the government, they're looking at the numbers. So they're looking at how many people are asking for this type of platform, how many people need this type of platform, and that's one way to go about it. Where people are looking for community like what you're building, and we're just happy to give you some exposure today, Peter, and we would love to help you for this community on different platforms as well.
Yeah, so sweet guys. Yes. Um,
Mhm,
even if you didn't, just that the fact that you're both pet lovers and that you are so
mhm.
is good enough. But if this podcast can help me, it would be that much better. So, but
Of course.
anyway, feel free to get in touch with me if you want something else, or if something else you need. Um,
Oh, we've definitely got the links. We do have the links in the description, and I've put them in the comments too for people to check out the website and go, hey, go add a profile for your pets because we do, again, we believe in community building, and nothing makes me happier than the idea of building a pet community. Here's a question. Would you ever expand, this is because this is a fun little dream of mine. Would you expand into having like pet rescue type places or like physical location pet communities that you if dream big, what would you do if you were gonna like not just have the digital space but incorporate it with like a physical sort of community?
uh, well, um, you know what I really would like to do is all these physical communities will can become part of the Pets for Films, right?
Mhm.
Um, I you know say for example that you would so there's a store, and they would like to advertise with us. Well, they they can provide a discount to our members. Okay, um, then we can kind of coordinate that with all these shelters and places like that.
Yeah.
I think that's like, because I do love that too, the idea of having I know there's one in Costa Rica is one that I'm thinking of where there's like kind of a sanctuary for dogs, for stray dogs and stuff, that it's kind of like a big
Really?
swath of, yeah, it's like a big stretch of land where like, instead of having dogs that are strays, they
Mhm.
bring them to this kind of sanctuary area and they can all hang out with other dogs and they can get adopted and find families. It's kind of like it's like a farm for dogs. And I just think that's really great. I would love to see more of those
Yeah.
kind of things.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
there's a sanctuary in close to Barrie, where if you can bring a dog, or you can bring a bird or something like that, and the people here, they fix it up and then they send it up there. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that would
Yeah,
be.
I think that's a great plan. I think that's a great start. And I think it's really needed. Instead of how people have like emotional support animals, but let's say that person can't necessarily afford to go get a pet, or or to get a companion. I feel like having a community or type of platform where someone can go and have accessible access to someone else's pet as an emotional support animal, or they just need a day or somewhere to go for that type of support. So that's one way that you can build it, or look at that to help, like to turn that into a mental health type of help, or a type of community base.
Yeah, I mean, going to old folks' homes is a great.
Mhm,
You know, I mean, that's an extremely popular thing. People with pets, they take puppies to
mhm,
to these homes, and the people there, the older people there, they love it.
Hmm.
They play with something. It's like the baby, and it's loves them, and they can hardly wait for this to happen. I think there's the one place they do that on regular basis. I think
mhm.
once every 2 weeks they have somebody there who comes with puppies.
No.
That would be a fun promotional event type thing, maybe for you to do. Like, hey, in your
Mm.
local community, post up you taking some of your friends to, nursing home and bringing your pets to let people just kind of hang out with your pets a little bit, or maybe getting some Humane Society animals and to help socialize those animals. You could go into places like, nursing homes and let them spend time with the animals.
Exactly.
Right.
But we do not have these pets. We have pet parents, right? We have pet owners, and so you can give them the idea that this is what they can do, right? I mean, I don't have all these pets. I have just only one pet. So, but it's certainly a good idea to motivate others to do that,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
I do love that. And Lonnie Ray's just mentioning too that they've got some knit and sit that they do with that's another fun little I would go knitting with my pet and just go hang out
Yes.
somewhere and just give people an opportunity to hang out and knit with me and do some just petting a dog, right? And
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
do think that's again in the realm of like the mental wellness and the well-being and like we talked about before, quality of life. It's it's such a small thing to do, just go to like a nursing home for a little bit, or just, it's such a small thing that has such a big impact, right?
Yes,
And like I do love the idea of being able to be in communities of like-minded people who do recognize the value of your pets to the quality of life that you have.
yes, yes. No, absolutely, absolutely. Uh, I think that I really think that this is something that can improve not only quality of your life, one's life, but the quality of the society.
Hmm.
As a
Yeah.
because that's what you do. You change one person at a time, right?
Hmm.
And so, little thing, people become aware that, as you mentioned, that the dogs have or animals have powers that we don't know about, and we all think that we are this supreme being that all knowing and everything, but we really our powers are not that good. We only think that, but we really are stupid to judge what we're doing,
Hmm.
right?
Well, but yeah, I was mentioning earlier, is humans can be very unpredictable sometimes.
It's
Right?
true, but
But
I,
we're learning. We're all a work in progress.
we're all a work in progress. We're all on a journey, and we can all be helped by our pets to be better humans on our
Yes.
journey and to be more empathetic and to be more unconditionally loving. They're such good examples for us, our four-legged little friends. And even our
Yeah.
friends who, some of the ones who don't necessarily have the four legs. Maybe you've got some weird pet. My dad had pet snakes too, so, maybe you've got, again, or the eight-legged pets if you must, if you have to. I guess you can
Hmm.
if you really must. But that is, so maybe there's just kind of, if we can delve into that just a little bit more, what would you see as, so I do think it's true, the way that we treat animals says a lot about us as a society, and the
Mhm.
things that we can learn from animals would make us a better society.
Yes. Well, yeah.
What would you like to see kind of come from your Pets for Films and PetsBook.com to support that, to support kind of a community space for pet lovers, yes, but a space that also improves humanity and the quality of life that we all share because we can all learn so much from a community like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? I think that the whole idea is to do one step at a time. And you really don't know what's going to happen next. You just want to make sure that whatever you do is for it's giving. It's for good. Okay. Uh,
Mhm.
um, I do need certain. I mean, to do all that, it takes unfortunately money, right? It takes money. So
Mhm.
Um, I'm always looking for somebody who would like to partner with me, looking for some investors. I mean, that's the natural thing, because these days, in order to market things or to promote things, you need money. That's what's, and then once you have that, then you can actually help, right?
Hmm.
So, um, so that will be certainly a good thing. But overall, I think that I'm looking for a platform that would help people, and if you have something that helps people, everything else will come naturally.
Right. Yeah.
Actually, it's a very interesting thing. Now, there was something a long time ago. I think you were not even born then, but there was something called Pet Rock. Remember Pet Rock?
Oh no, I remember Pet Rocks. Like, yeah, they brought those back for a hot minute. I think in the late '90s, early 2000s, right? I think that was.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
can you imagine people spending money on piece of rock? Uh, I
You
did
could get one from outside, but yep, people spent money on it.
spend
Yeah.
money. I didn't have. There was nothing. There was no organism. It was just nothing. But it was an idea, right?
Mhm.
Hmm.
Idea that it was yours. That was something that it was your pet. It was something which couldn't talk to you, but it was unconditional. It's like hugging a tree.
Mhm.
Right.
But there was a tremendous therapeutical um, and social aspect to it, right?
Hmm.
So
Mhm.
that just tells you how this whole idea of pet is important for us as human beings. You know that
Yes.
if something like that helps, you can imagine how little pussycat or little doggy like you have can actually
Mhm.
well for the mankind, right?
Hmm.
And that's again, it's just so. I've said it many times, and I know it's a common thing that people say, but like, oh, like we don't deserve dogs, we don't deserve cats, we don't. The humans don't deserve how good animals really are to us, and how much they do really show us so much love,
They
right?
don't.
Hmm.
You know what? When I was, you see that the pets, their life is much shorter than ours, right? Much shorter. It's
Hmm.
too for us. I mean, you know, when they're a puppy, when they're a few weeks old, few months old, they're still a puppy, and then they get 1 or 2 years, and then they're practically teenagers, and then
Right.
they're 3, 4 years, and they're really getting older. But when you really look at them, they take advantage of their life. They are energetic. They do everything. They really take fully advantage of that of the time being.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes they're crazy, but they fully
Yeah.
enjoy their life with you. Whereas we don't really take full advantage of our life. We waste our life with nonsense. I think
Hmm.
that's one thing that pet can teach you. That when they're relaxing, they're relaxing fully.
Yeah.
when when they play with you, they really play like crazy, right?
You're right.
They love you. They give you millions of kisses, right? Right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So this
They're
kind.
very present, right?
Yeah.
Animals are very effortless and natural at just staying in the present moment. They don't worry about what's next, and they don't, like I said, they don't tally up what you've done wrong and remember all the things that they're upset about. They,
Yeah.
they
That's
But
right.
I
let
feel
it
like
all go.
I feel like that's a really natural instinct for animals is that they're very adaptable. So whatever life throws at them, I feel like they're very easy to adapt to any type of situation. As far as humans, you're right, Peter. We do focus on nonsense, and I feel like those pets are able to bring us back down to earth and be more playful and not worry about what's really happening on the news or what's going on the next day in our next chapter of our life. So I feel like they definitely have taught humans to be more adaptable, depending on what type of pet that you have, either a dog or a cat. But I think it's important. I think it's important to show or to feel what the pet that your pet's trying to show you or getting out of your comfort zone and not take life so seriously all the time.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That is so true. Well, we're already coming up on almost an hour here. We've had such a fun time chatting with you, Peter. Like, this has
Mhm.
just been great, and we love chatting about animals. So I do want to give you an opportunity to let the audience know, like, we have the petsforfilms.com and petsbook.ca. Those links are in the description. Is there anything else in particular you'd want to just give people a call to action or direct them to for supporting your websites and this community building?
Well, I think that the petsforfilms.com, I think it's very important, not only for the website for me, but I think that for for the community. So I certainly would like to do that. Other thing is that if somebody's interested in helping me out as far as promotions or as far as maybe investing into expanding the whole system, I would love to know as well. I certainly would like to talk to you maybe next time because you are and
Yeah.
We
I,
would love to have you back again to tell us more. And
Yeah.
next time I can have Lucy on screen with me and we can see how good she is at acting. We can maybe we can have a test. We can have an audition for Lucy.
we can
Yes.
we can do some slating. You know how you slate and all that stuff, right?
Right.
Yes, there
Yes.
you
I
go.
love that.
I'll get a slate and we can action.
But yeah, that's about it. I'm quite impressed with you both. I think nice.
Well,
Thank
thank
you.
you
Thank you
so
so much,
much.
Peter. It was great. It
We
was
do
great being part of
appreciate you.
Haley's open mic. It was great getting to know you and the project that you are working on. And we're more than happy to help and give you some more exposure.
Thank you very much. You have my number. Feel free to get in touch with me. Wouldn't mind if you have some other feedback. Certainly share that with me as well. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. And you'll have to come back again and we'll chat again. This has been so much fun. I so appreciate I would love to go further into the all of the paranormal fun that we could get into with pets seeing spirits and all that. We got to have Lonnie Ray because she had a comment about seeing a spirit jump off of her human and into a pet. And I was
You know,
going to hear
Whoa.
more of those stories, right?
let me know and I'm going to I'm going to ask some of the members exactly what are their experiences. Then we can share it all together. Yeah, just feel free to let me know. What would you like to
Oh,
detail?
Yeah.
I would love that. That would be fun. We could have an episode of sharing pet stories from the site. Like that would be a fun. We'll have to plan that and bring you back. We can do a little sharing of pet stories from petsforfilms.com and from the Pets
Yeah.
book. Oh, that would be fun.
Right. Thank
Sounds like a
you.
plan.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us for another episode of Frankie's Open Mic. Thank you, Alicia Maximo, my wonderful
Thank
co-host, and
you.
thank you to Peter Karel for joining us. Thank you, everyone. I've been Haleigh Overseth, and we will catch you guys in the next Frankie's Open Mic. Have a great one, y'all.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Thank you.